Peace. What's good, everybody? I am back with another $1 million opportunity. How to make your first million starting a cleaning business, where I show you great opportunities that are out there, $1 million contracts, six-figure contracts that you, yes, you, the one-man show, two-man show can do. All right, be encouraged, not discouraged. Okay, so right now I'm doing this video in my car. I'm on the road with you guys. I could have done this in my professional office setting, but to tell you the truth, guys, millions are made in places like these, like your car. Okay, it's not all prim and proper, guys. Millions are made in spaces like these. Okay, so I'm in my car right now because I am actually going to do a post-construction cleanup walkthrough, and I will make a video on different places that you can cold call to get more cleaning opportunities. Now, this video is about a lot cleaning and debris removal contract. I'm going to show you the opportunity that is available. It is due November 10th at 2:30 p.m. and it is an amazing opportunity. I'm going to show you guys how to I'm going to give you guys the link to the procurement site. If you're in New York, or if you're familiar with New York, it is it is the procurement site to work with the MTA, the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. And they have a 5-year contract for lot cleaning and debris removal available right now, and it is due November 10th at 2:30 p.m. So let's get in on this opportunity. Let's get this money. Do not be discouraged, be encouraged, okay? There are these $1 million, six-figure opportunities, okay, that not many people are competing on, okay? And they count on that for you guys not to compete on these things. And I love it. Right? Because the more of these red tape opportunities that are out there, the more people that don't want to do them, it leaves that lane open for you, and for me. Okay? So let's get in on this contract. I'm going to show you guys the procurement site for the MTA, to work with the MTA, and the lot cleaning and debris removal 5-year contract that they have available right now, and it is due November 10th 2025 at 2:30 p.m. and let's get into this. All right, peace. This six-figure to $1 million contract to work with the MTA, the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. On this channel, we show you how to make your first million starting a cleaning business, and these are the types of opportunities I will be showing you. It is a 5-year contract for lot cleaning and debris removal. So we're going to walk through the description of this project, and then we're going to go to the procurement site that you get to bid on this opportunity. Now, how do I know about this opportunity? This is very important, guys. I was randomly emailed about this opportunity, and I don't think it was really random, because I am always on procurement sites, putting myself in the spaces of opportunity. So I believe that all these procurement sites that I am always applying for and bidding on, they happen to know about my business and sent this opportunity my way. Now, I say that to say this, for you guys to do the same. On this channel, I will show you multiple procurement sites where there are multiple opportunities for you to make your first million starting your own cleaning business, and I'll show you how to read these contracts and fill them out. So get into the room of opportunity. If you're watching this video, you already are. So let's get in on this lot cleaning and debris removal contract. It is a 5-year contract, and the work to be performed under this 5-year contract requires the contractor to provide all necessary labor, materials, equipment, vehicles, and transportation for the removal and disposal of debris from outdoor lots, as well as interior spaces and structures, including subway stations owned by the authority in the boroughs of Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, and Staten Island, and one location in Yonkers, New York. So the materials to be removed can be soil, stone, wood, scrap metal, appliances, plastics, tires, and other items. And yes, this falls into the category of janitorial services because you are cleaning up. All right. So I will leave a link down below to the procurement site that I found this amazing opportunity on. And don't forget, guys, it is due November 10th of 2025. Let's get into it. I'll have more notice on these opportunities so you guys won't have to rush and fill them out. Even if you see this video, right, be encouraged that these type of websites are out there and these types of opportunities are out there. Okay, now this is the portal, the MyMTA portal, and if you do not have a login, create one. Okay, and I'll leave a link down below on how you can create an account. So I'm just going to sign in. It has a 2-factor authentication, so you can just either text, email, or call. All right, guys, we are officially on the website, and you would just go to bidding opportunities. Now, there are way more opportunities than this. This is my invited events. So someone, the person running this opportunity invited certain vendors to this event. So, but there are many public events and many more public opportunities to work with the MTA, and I'll do a separate video of any opportunities regarding custodial or janitorial services so you can make that first million starting a cleaning business. Okay, so let's get in on this opportunity. There's only 6 days left. Could click that, and in order to bid on the event, you would just click bid on event, but you can view the bid package, so you can see all of the required documentation you need to fill out and all the documents that they have for your information. And here it is, guys, and we're gonna go through them one by one. One of the most important documents I would say to review is responses to bidder questions. Okay, so many opportunities give you a chance to ask questions. Most of these opportunities have a deadline, so you have from this date to that date to post any inquiries or any questions you have about the opportunity. And don't be discouraged. Sometimes I miss these questionnaires. Most of the time I do miss not most of the time, sometimes I miss these opportunities to ask questions, but they still post these answers. Sometimes people are going to answer a question that you already have. So take a look at that, and that's going to be the first one we're going to look at, guys. All right, guys, this is the questions that vendors asked the contract manager of the lot cleaning and debris removal contract. Now, what is an addendum? An addendum is a form that you must acknowledge receipt, because usually an addendum is any revisions or modifications to a contract. So there were multiple modifications here, and you would just have to read this and make sure you put your business name and your signature acknowledging that you received any revisions or modifications, which is called an addendum. And you will see this in multiple contracts. Sometimes they don't have an addendum to sign. There's no modifications or changes, and sometimes there are. And if you do not sign this, then you would be deemed unresponsive. Okay. All right. And here are some of the questions that vendors have asked. And one of the most important questions I like to ask was if they have a past awarded price. Someone already asked that here. Has the job been awarded in the past? And if so, who was it awarded to and what was the bid amount? Sometimes they would give you a detailed response. Hey, this is the last vendor, this is the past price. And sometimes they would say, as I said before, fill out a form. It's either called a right to know, but apparently for the MTA, it is called a FOIL request. So they did not give us the vendor name and previous price. They just said, please access the link below to submit a FOIL request. And be honest, guys, I did it. And yeah, when they got back to me, they just said there was no contract in their system in the past such as this. But don't let that discourage you. I would still call customer service and, fight for your answer. It's just how bad do you want it, right? And we'll just go through some of these questions here. Like they were asking, hey, what exactly are you looking for on the bid proposal, where it says provide a lead time in number of days. They even said, please enter 30 to get past this required field. Are there any site visits? Since the jobs are varied, we have included pictures of old jobs with this addendum in lieu of a site visit, and so on. People asked a bunch of questions, and they gave you a bunch of answers, and so on. And when is the anticipated award date? December 16th. All right, guys, let's move on to the other documentation. Usually I just start from the top to the bottom. So let's start off with the contract, the actual contract. All right, and they give you the description that we went over, and it's just a bunch of the same general information here. This is the contact information for the point of contact for this contract. And don't let the fancy wording intimidate you guys. As I said on this channel, we walk you through step by step on how to bid on these contracts and how to read these contracts. And of course, we do one-on-one consulting. If you found a contract that you're interested in and you need help filling out the contract, reading the contract, and you just need someone by your side to help you, we do that here. So click the link down below to book a call with us and see how we can help you with making your first million, applying for these contracts. All right, let's keep going. Terms and conditions. Of course, to complete the online registration process to get access to the portal, and I will leave a link down below to that. It's pretty simple. Just creating a user ID and password. And this is just a bunch of general information, guys. Making sure you have access to the portal, agree to their terms and conditions. And that's that on that document, guys. Let's move on to the next. All right, it says the same thing. Just because it says the same thing doesn't mean we shouldn't click it, all right? Let's check it out. Now, this is the public event details. The only difference here that I see is the bidder is the public event. The last one actually had my company information on it, since it was an invited event. And it's just looking like the same. The description of the work needed, 5-year contract to remove labor, materials, equipment from Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, and one location in Yonkers, New York. All right, bidder shall review, complete, sign, and upload all the requirement documents for the solicitation. Notarized documents shall be uploaded in PDF format. So don't forget that, guys. All right, guys, that looks like that's that on that document. What I will say, where it asks for a response here, a file attachment is required to satisfy this question. Your bid will need to be edited online to include attachment responses. So for here, just to be safe, guys, I would add a response. So for here, I'd enter yes. Okay, and let's just move on to the next document. These are the insurance requirements, and these are the insurance requirements. I would call your business insurance and make sure all of these are covered. And also, you do not have to have these limits until you're awarded the contract. It just takes a simple phone call, which will take about a day or so. So once you are awarded this contract, then you can send that over to your insurance. Don't add these limits to your insurance without knowing it's a guarantee that you've been awarded. And it's just as simple as calling your business insurance provider and sending them this document. They would be able to read it and let you know how much your premium, your annual or your monthly payment will be. And I believe that's that on this document. It's just the insurance requirements that they need. And as I said before, you just call up your insurance company after you've been awarded. And of course, go through the entire document. Like right here, the contractor shall submit evidence of compliance of all insurance requirements before any work is started to the authority/MTA as follows. So you just enter the agency name, address, attention to, and email address. But as it says, after the contractor's insurance has been approved, a compliant message verifying insurance compliance will be sent to the contractor via the MTA Certificate of Insurance Management System on the insurance requirements document. So let's keep going. Okay, these are the contract forms. You can disregard this due date. It's been extended to November 10th at 2:30 p.m. And as I've said before, I will make sure once I see an opportunity to post a video about it to give you guys ample time to get that done. Even if you were not able to bid on this opportunity, at least you know that this procurement website is out there and you can monitor any janitorial services contracts that are up for bid. And then for here, you would just enter in your information, any discounts you want to give them, if applicable, your vendor name, which is your business name, your signature, email address, EIN, your title if you're the owner, and your the date. You just keep going, guys. Looks like a lot of general information here. This is where you would invoice them, but we'll worry about that once we win that contract, right? And more general information. That's the thing about these contracts, guys. It can seem intimidating, but a lot of it is general information. And you just gotta make sure you keep your eye on what needs to be filled out. All right, this is just saying if you did not complete the contract, you would be disbarred from participating in any future contracts for up to 5 years. So we're not gonna do that. Let's keep going. All right, for attachments and appendices. So this solicitation consists of the following selected documents. Note that attachments with the dark square are always required. So be sure to pay attention to this. I believe 2 through 17. All right, guys, let's keep going on with this contract. And as I said, just because it has that dark circle is just basically saying for you to keep in mind and take a look at it. The inquiry cover sheet, we know we have to fill that out. Pages 2 through 17 was the general terms and condition. There's nothing to fill out here. And of course, special notice to vendors regarding debarment, which we just covered. If you fail to execute the contract in full, that you would be not able to bid on contracts with the MTA for a period of 5 years. So let's just keep on going. This must be an electronic submission through the MTA portal. Of course, you guys know that. Site visits, any of that has already passed. And of course, your pricing schedule must be done. And if there's anything important that sticks out to me, I will mention it, guys. A lot of it is some general information. Okay, their goals for minority business enterprises is 15%. Women business enterprise is 15%. The successful bidder and the MTA agrees, agree as a condition for the contract to be bound by the provisions of the state MBE/WBE law. So that essentially means that 15% of the work must be done by minority business enterprise or women business enterprise. And in a future video, I'll show you guys how to get certified with the New York State. In a future video, I'm going to show you how to get that certification. And if your business does not have that certification and you're awarded that contract, you can always subcontract part of the work to a vendor that is certified. But I recommend you guys do get certified because there are set aside contracts just for you that if you have that certification. All right, guys, let's keep going. All right, this looks like something you have to fill out. State below bidder's employee or representative who will be responsible for the administration of any purchase order or contract which may result from this solicitation. So you would just enter in your name, title, email address, fax number, and business phone number. If you do not have a fax, you could just put not available. And really is just the authorized representative. I always put myself. And for this section here is the information and documents needed to be furnished by the bidder. So to be considered responsive, each bid submitted must include the following information and documents. All right. So of course, the authorized representative, completed inquiry cover page, acknowledging receipt and agreeing to bound of all terms and conditions. That was page 1 of this document. Completed price schedules, which we will move on to. Any samples required by this solicitation, including but not limited to technical specifications. And for number 5, the bidder is required to complete and return with its bid the attachments, appendices, certifications, and exhibits listed in the attachments section of this information for bidders, and all forms issued by the MTA as part of this solicitation. And we're gonna keep on going. And it's just saying if you have any questions, it must be sent by fax or email. All right, now for the Contractor Responsibility Form and the Contract Specific Responsibility Form. All right, guys. It's looking like something you guys have to fill out. Okay, so instructions. Attachment B, Contractor Responsibility Form, consists of both the Contractor Responsibility Form and the Contract Specific Responsibility Form. And both of those need to be filled out. Now, over here, if the contractor has submitted a responsibility form within the past 12 months, they do not need to submit another one. Instead, contractor may complete the certification of no change. All right. And that means if you've already completed that contractor responsibility form and there's no change to it, then you can complete the certification of no change form. All right. Another important thing here, contractor must answer all questions in the responsibility form. None or not applicable may be used for those questions where those responses are appropriate, but no answers can be left blank. And that's with all contracts that you fill out, guys, just so nothing can be left blank. Just put none or not available. All right, let's keep going. Contractor may attach additional sheets to the responses if they need more space. And it's just giving you instructions on how to fill out that contractor responsibility form. All right, these are just definitions here. Here we go. Now you would just put the contractor's full legal name, address, and street address if the mailing address is different. And where it says contractor's full legal name, I would put, of course, your business name here. because over here they ask for your personal name, email, and telephone number of the contractor's primary point of contact with the MTA. Over here you would enter in your EIN, the type of legal entity, either a corporation, sole proprietorship, LLC, etc. If the contractor is a joint venture or partnership, you would enter that in here. The year your business was organized. If you have a DBA name, you would put that in here. The identity of the person completing this form, if it is you, you put your name, title, phone number, and email address. They love asking you guys that multiple times in these contracts. Just fill it out, guys. All right, now for contractor representations, you would just see if this applies to you. And we keep going. Within the past 5 years, has a contractor been declared not responsible by any government entity? And you just put yes or no. If the contractor has been disbarred, suspended, or otherwise, you'd put yes or no, and you just answer these questions. I hope they are all no. Guys. All right, this is just a contractor responsibility form, yes or no questions. So if you answer yes to any of the questions, then check the box and a separate sheet must be attached to explain your answer. Okay. And then just yes or no here. Same thing as I said up here, if it applies to you. If you answer yes to any of these questions, then you have to provide a separate attach a separate sheet explaining why. Okay, we could just keep going. It's these yes or no questions, seeing if you've been convicted of any crime or disqualified from selling or bidding with any government entity within the past 5 years or the past 10 years. So you just answer simply yes or no. Hopefully it's all no. And as I said here, if you have explain any yes answers in a by attaching additional pages, okay? All right, for here you would list the name, title, and home and business address of each person or legal entity that holds 10% or more ownership or control interests in the contractor, which is in your business. Enter that here. All right, for B, you would list the name, title, and home address of each director and principal officer of the contractor. You would, of course, put yourself, and if there are any more, you would list them here. More questions, guys, more yes or no questions. Like in the past 3 years, has a contractor been a subcontractor of any contract with the MTA? If yes, please provide the contract number, description, name of the prime contractor. Add additional sheets if necessary. In the past 7 years, have the contractor filed for bankruptcy? Yes or no? And so on, guys. Does the contractor own or rent office space? Please provide details if it's a yes or no. Okay. And you can use your home address, guys. So don't let that discourage you, okay? You can put your own home address, suite A, suite B, suite 1, whatever applies to you guys. Just keep going with the yes or no questions. Does the contractor share office space with staff? If yes, please list the name of the entity or entities where the office space / equipment is located, who owns the office space or equipment, the names of the staff that are shared, and their functions and titles and expenses that are shared. If it's a no, it's a no. If it's a yes, please enter all of that in. As I said before, these contracts are built to separate the go-getters from the people that are going to do it. All right, so be encouraged when you see a lot of red tape, because for me, I'm just like, okay, great. More red tape, the more effort on my end and the more it may discourage others from providing that effort, because honestly, it's tough doing this, or especially your first time. But the more you do it, the more you get encouraged to go above and beyond, to win, to compete. Okay. And you'll see how empowering it is, really, because that, hey, I'm that person that's gonna go get it. All right, so let's keep going. Don't let those extra red tape discourage you. Let it encourage you. All right, so let's keep going. List all contracts during the last 3 years. If more than 3 contracts have been completed in the last 3 years, list the last 3 contracts completed. If the answer is none, type none. All right, so you would just enter that in. And honestly, guys, if you worked with someone for a long period of time, and it's not and it's your contract. In the future videos, I'm going to show you how to prepare your own contract between you and a reoccurring customer. That counts as a contract, guys, and you can enter that in, okay, like a reference. So stay subscribed to this channel, okay? And I'm going to show you how to get past red tape like this, because when I first started with my contracts, I would be like, oh man, I never had a contract yet, but I had long-term recurring customers, even if it's my family members, okay? And I created a contract, made them sign it, and that counts, all right? So let's keep going. So for here, we gotta read, guys. List each contract completed where damages and penalties were assessed against you as the contractor. I hope it is none, guys. So if it's none, you just put none. If there are, then you would of course put all of this information in: description of work performed, contract number, etc., and the reason there were liquidated damages or penalties against you as the contractor. Of course, they give you 3 spaces to do so. All right. Has the contractor been awarded by any contract by the MTA where the work has not yet reached substantial completion? If none, state none. If so, enter that in. All right. And it's very indifferent. Like, it could be a good thing if you worked with the MTA before. Yay, we're used to you. And if you didn't, great. More vendors that we can work with, So I've never worked with the MTA before, so when I'm filling this out, I'm gonna put none. All right, so that's okay. All right, now, does the contractor have any active contractors with any government entity where the contract work is being managed by the same office that manages its contract with MTA? So if it's none, you put none. If so, you would enter that information in. Okay. Has the contractor performed or is performing as a subcontractor on any contracts awarded by the MTA and has not reached substantial completion? If yes, enter that information in. If not, just put none. All right. Furnish the following information for each contractor for each contract which during the last 3 years the contractor was defaulted, terminated, sued, all the bad stuff, right? Required to draw a letter of credit in lieu of performance bond, all of that stuff. If none, enter in none. If so, you'd enter in that information here. And let's keep going. Attach additional sheets as needed. If the answer is none, type none. List all employees, consultants, and independent contractors of the contractor who are currently employees of the MTA. And if it is none, of course, you just put none. And if there is that you know of, you would just check the appropriate agency that these employees are employed by and enter in their name. Yes, they want to know it all, guys. And here are some more yes or no questions here. Who are the owners and partners of the contractor and what percentage is owned? They like to ask a lot of redundant questions, just redundantly answer them. So you enter in the name of the owner, which would be you, and the percentage owned. All right. This form is to be completed and submitted with attachment B, Contractor Responsibility Form. So for here, you would put in the contract number, the current contract number, you as the contractor or the subcontractor's name. And for technical resources, attach an explanation that will assist the MTA in determining whether the contractor or subcontractor have the necessary technical resources to perform the contract work. All right. So for here, I would use Claude to help me, right? To create a, basically it's a technical approach document. So please include information relating to staffing, facilities, equipment, and tools that the contractor or subcontractor will commit to the performance of this contract. So if this information has already been provided elsewhere, please note the section of the bid or proposal that is responsive. And you would just put C section here. Or please check this box if you want to attach a separate explanation. And I would do that instead, honestly, guys. Please list any licenses, permits, the contractor or subcontractor and the employees hold that may be relevant to this contract. So you put that information here. If you have your your GC license, your trade waste license with NYC, either you or your subcontractor, I'd enter that information here. All right. So for question number 3, has the contractor or subcontractor had any licenses revoked or suspended in the past 3 years? If yes, have a detailed explanation or attach a separate sheet. If not, please enter in none or not available, or just a brief sentence saying no. Okay. Performance bond information. This section is only applicable to solicitations in which the contractor is required to provide a performance bond. Okay. And if it's not, then just put not available. All right, guys. Now for subcontracts. If you have a subcontractor, you would enter in their name and address, portion of work, and estimated value of the work. If you do not, that is okay. You can, if the subcontractors are not currently identified, then you can insert a to be determined in the cell title, name, and address of the proposed contractors. Okay. And, but you would still have to put the percentage of the portion of the work and the estimated value of the work. Estimated, guys. So I would just enter this in once you finalized your pricing, and you can put in the estimated value. So if you estimate 50% of the work is going to be subcontracted out, and you bid $500,000 on this, then $250,000 is the estimated value of work. But guys, this is not set in stone. Things can change. Okay. All right. List all employees of the contractor who have been MTA affiliate or employee. So if there's none, just put none. If there is, then of course you would check off the agency and their name. Okay. All right. For financial information, this section is not applicable to subcontractors. Contractor confirms that it has submitted certified copies of its financial statements for the past 3 years and the financial responsibility data workbook to the document repository. If the contractor does not have certified financial statements, it should provide financial statements sworn to by contractor's chief financial officer, determining whether the contractor has sufficient financial resources to perform the contract. For this section here, for that section, Okay, so contractor confirms that it has submitted certified copies of its financial statements for the past 3 years and financial responsibility data to the document repository. If you do not have financial statements, you should provide financial statements sworn by the contractor's chief financial officer. Chief financial officer can be you, okay? Along with any other relevant information that will assist the MTA. So this can be as simple as 3 years of your tax returns that you can submit as well, just to make your proposal stronger, okay? And if you guys have any questions about this, leave it down in the comment section. And as I said before, we do one-on-one consulting, helping you with these contracts and all the paperwork required and red tape of it all right? Now this is the certification document where you'd sign, date, print, and put in your title. Simple as that. Certification of no change. This is if you've already submitted, as I said before, a contractor responsibility form within the past 12 months and there is no change. So you would bypass all of that stuff that we filled out earlier and would just enter this in, okay? You know, entering your name and title, firm name, etc. Sign, print, date, title. All right, now for attachment D. Does the bidder or proposer anticipate that one or more New York State business enterprises will be used in the performance of this contract? Yes or no? Really just like the minority business enterprise, women business enterprise, or New York State business enterprise, will those certified companies be used in the performance of this contract? Yes or no? And it is encouraged. So they are encouraging you to get these type of certifications just so you can be more competitive, because there are set aside contracts for business owners with this type of certification. All right, let's keep going, guys. And they even show you how to get certified here and who to call. And I'll make a separate video on how to do so. Lots more general information here. Disclosure of prior non-responsibility determinations. And this is just where you just put in the name of the bidder, which is your company name, address, name and title of the person submitting this form, and entering these yes or no questions. And of course, if you answered yes to any of the above questions, you must provide detailed responses regarding the finding of non-responsibility. And you just enter in these, and you would just fill this out if you were non-responsible, and you would sign, date, enter in your name and title. And that is just for non-responsibility, guys. All right, affirmations and certification. Sign, date, name, title, and the full business legal name, address, and phone number. And that's that for this section here, guys. Now for here, proposer's certification of compliance with the code. So again, signing, dating, printing your name, title, the contractor name, address, and business phone number. So just entering that in. You just check these two boxes. All right, now for attachment H, I ran a Divestment Act certification. I will just read these paragraphs and check which box apply to you. For me, after I've read it, what makes sense is to check box A, certification that the bidder is not on the list. And then you'd sign, date, print your name and position. Let's keep going, guys. More general info. We're just gonna keep moving along for the sake of time of this video. Vendor name, which is your company name. Vendor signature, date, print name of the signatory, print the title of the signatory, business address of the signatory, and the phone number. Okay, so company name, your signature, print your name, date, your title if you're the owner, address, and phone number. Okay, keep on going. Equal employment opportunity. All right, so here, this is number 1 is what applies to you, number 1 and 2. If I would click single establishment employer report. And for number 2, it says total number of reports being filed by this company. Answer on consolidated report only. Only if you've clicked this one here. But single establishment employer report means that you are doing this yourself, okay? You are reporting this yourself, the Equal Employment Opportunity Employer Information Report. Here is for office use only. You would not enter that in. And for this section is you would just enter in the number of males and females in these job categories in your company. And this doesn't have to be perfect, guys. This is just a report. Now for number 1, date of payroll period used, unless you're weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or salary. Does the establishment employ apprentices, yes or no? And this is office use only. Certification here. For section F, you'd check 1, either 10 or 11. I would check 11. This report is accurate and was prepared in accordance with the instructions. And you would just enter this information in. Just some personal information. Name of certifying official, title, signature, date, address, name of person to contact regarding this report. It can be you again as well, and you enter in your title, city, state, zip code, and telephone number. And we're going to keep going. Now for staffing plan. And you would just enter this information in the project title, which is the RFP title, lot cleaning and debris removal, location of the contract. You could put New York State, what county. Now, you could put multiple because it is for Brooklyn, Bronx, etc. Contractor firm name, that is your company name, address, city, state, and zip. Check the applied applicable categories. Staff estimates include, and the type of contract, that would be service. And you would enter in here the total anticipated workforce. And you would enter in how many males, how many females, total number of employees that are Black, Hispanic. You know, this does not have to be perfect, guys, okay? This is just your staffing plan and just reporting the total anticipated workforce, okay? And they just want to see the total percentage of minority employees and the total percentage of female employees. It is for their information, guys. It does not mean that if you have more Black employees, more Hispanic employees, you're gonna not win this contract, okay? So you'd enter in your company name, signature, telephone number, title, and date. For this contract, the MTA agency manager's name, telephone number, and address are. Now for this question here, for this contract, the MTA agency manager's name, phone number, and address are. I will link this down below. It is talking about the minority business enterprise and women business enterprise goals that they have for this contract. All right, so I will find this out and put that below. All right, as it said, these are the goals. And something else that we need to fill out, guys. This is to meet the minority business enterprise women business enterprise utilization plan form. Now you can enter this in if you have a vendor or subcontractor in mind to complete this goal. If you do not, you can put not available for now. Okay, but of course fill this part out here because it's your information. Signature, name, title, EIN number, address, phone number, date, and your business name here. This is if you want to request for a total or partial waiver of the MBE/WBE goal. I would not ask for a waiver for this. And I believe this request can be filled out once you are awarded the contract. Of course, here, make sure to sign, enter your company name, address, and phone number. Now for here, this is an intent to perform as a subcontractor or subconsultant to for the minority business enterprise / women business enterprise form. So if this applies to you guys, I would fill this out if you have a subcontractor in mind already. But if you intend to be the prime contractor and you do have a minority business enterprise or women business enterprise certification, you would not have to fill this out. But if you do have someone in mind, I'd enter in the contract number, title, name of the prime bidder, which is you, and enter in the subcontractor and the amount of work that you intend to have set aside for them. And of course, you enter in the name of the firm, name and title, authorized representative of that firm, and the date. So that's something they would fill out. Of course, here you'd enter in your information. We're almost done, guys. And this is just if you have a utilization plan to meet their SDVOB goal. And if not, this does not have to be filled out. Same goes for here, guys. Intend to perform as a subcontractor. This is for your subcontractor. And the application for waiver of the SDVOB participation goal. And you can fill this out. And the reason for that waiver request for this one is that I already have a minority business enterprise or women business enterprise goal set aside. So SDVOB goal is not needed. All right, MTA use only. And this is for compliance reports. This is not what you would fill out. This is after you're awarded the contract. This is the statement of sexual harassment policy and training. I would enter in your information here. Don't forget that. For Schedule A, this is like the Iran document. I would click no and enter in your information here. But if it applies to you and you click yes, you may do so. But they would ask you to provide, I believe, an explanation. They actually don't. So it'll be as simple as just clicking yes. And that is that on that document, guys. You would just enter in your name, signature, print, date, and title once again. All right, guys, let's head back to the documents here. Okay, guys, so we've went through the lengthy process of the contract forms. These other 3 documents, Addendum 1, 2, and 3, are just is the same as Addendum 4, just the responses to bidder questions and any modifications. This is the updated scope of work. So let's take a look at that really quick. And this is just what they want you guys to do. Okay. So I would just read that in detail. Not pretty lengthy, just letting you know what they want done from you. Lock cleaning and debris removal and disposal contract scope of work. So I would just read this in detail, guys. They did add that they'd like herbicide application. And for this, you could always subcontract that out. You look for a company that does this type of work. I would look for a company just to meet that MBE/WBE goal. I would look for a company that's certified there, but if not, that's fine too. It would just be easier. The equipment, how many hours? It'll be 8 hours a day. Labor, prevailing wages, because you have to pay your employee a certain amount of money. And that is that. Let's read that in detail, guys. Just letting you know what they need done. All right, Addendum 4, we went through that already. Addendum 5, let's take a look at that. So I would go to Addendum 5, okay? And sign, enter the name of the vendor for every addendum, 1 through 5. You're just acknowledging that you received the revision, modification, and instructions. That's what an addendum is, okay? All right, now on to the final document, guys, pricing. Let's see how they break down the pricing for this bid. And here we go here, guys. Lock cleaning and debris removal. Equipment, transportation, your hourly rate. You need 8,472 hours. So if you did it like $100 an hour, it just calculates. The yearly price is $847,000. And so on. You would just enter in your pricing here. It's a lot of per hour type of pricing. How much would you charge at night, weekends, weekdays? How much to dispose by per ton? So it has estimated 174 tons of debris that needs to be removed. You know, how much per ton? And as I said, guys, we do one-on-one consulting where we help you with pricing, okay? I would say that is one of the hardest parts if you do not have a formula down pat, because you can easily underbid or overbid, all right? So that's that on pricing. Take a look at that. I love seeing a number like that, $847,000 a year just for weekday labor. Okay. That's the type of prices I'm talking about. That's the type of money that you can make with a cleaning business. That's how you make millions starting a cleaning business just off of one contract like this alone. A lot of red tape, right? But that's what I said separates the go-getters from the people that's going to get it. All right. And that is that on this contract, guys. See here, to enter in your bid, you would just click bid on event and you would upload your documentations here, enter file attachment response. So you can upload your documents and you would enter in your entire bid amount here. And you would have that after you've filled out that Excel spreadsheet, guys. All right, guys, don't miss out on this opportunity. It is due November 10th at 2:30 p.m. Have faith, guys. Have faith in your business. Have faith in yourself. Have faith that you will be able to get this done. all right? And throw away the worry, of course, of the work that you have to do, right? And if you guys need any help, we provide one-on-one consulting. You bring us a contract, we find contracts for you too. We let you know about contracts and opportunities free on this YouTube channel. But if you have some contracts specifically in your state, in your area, we're here to help you. So click down below, book a call with us, and God bless you guys. Peace.